This is kind of about aspies and specificity. I think it's a particular characteristic of Aspies, and not just Aspies, but some other people, but not the general population. But people with Asperger's tend to be very specific, have very specific interests, and when we focus on one thing. So what happens, like in the so-called romantic domain, is while other people are fishing around like in a general pool of fish, we don't really see a pool. We identify sporadically particular fish that really, really stand out to us. And then it's pretty much like our entire attention just goes right to that fish. And the problem with that is, well, you can't guarantee that that fish is going to have a reciprocal interest. In fact, they probably don't. And so you find yourself stuck all the time with this intention and this focus and this reaction going in one direction, and then you see what's happening on the other direction, which is either they don't have any interest or they have some kind of generalized interest that's sort of like, well, you're like one of five that I'm, we could possibly just fill in my little spot here, and it's like, no, I don't operate that way. It just is not how I am. I'm not a part of that. And it's just a straight, it's kind of an offensive, it's almost like an offensive kind of notion, thinking that you're just this interchangeable piece. Because if you're very specific, and maybe if you have Asperger's, you like that one person, and they really aren't interchangeable. You have a focus on them, and they become kind of like your number one thing. And to get that out of your head takes a lot. You can't just like switch them out. It takes like significant work to, it takes significant work to break that down and even get to a point where you can even consider looking at somebody else. I don't know if all Aspies are that way, but I think a lot of us probably are. So it's just, it makes things a little bit impossible, because situations aren't ideal. They just aren't ideal. And I'm sure there are situations where people should compromise, but there are certain things that you really can't compromise on. I mean, at what point does it become just a characteristic of an Aspie to be very focused and focus on one person, and then have that actually be a like an offensive thing to the general population? I mean, like, how can I explain that? Okay, to be the generality of it is an affront to anybody. I'm not sure that it is. I think there are probably a lot of people, maybe especially now in the younger generation, where everything's very interchangeable. I mean, you just kind of like take these parts out and you plug them in there, and it's like big deal. And I don't know. I can't get with that program. So anyway, that's just kind of casually what I was pondering on. So I guess that's it. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye for now.